Troy? Troy, is that you?
Yes, Mom, I did the dishes. You know what I hate? Vaping clowns.
Could have surprised me. Don't worry, I still love you.
I'm triggered by people that smash pumpkins.
Don't be scared. I just want to play a game with you.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now.
I'm kissing her now.
The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye.
Troy, put some clothes back on.
Sorry. I thought that's what you did in New Orleans hotel rooms.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long.
Does anybody else hear that bell?
Nope. I'm so excited. So excited.
Good evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with your host Dan Doble, Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivelone. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
Welcome, everybody, to another fabulous Haunt Hour. I'm one of the three hosts, Dan, a Haunt Guy Doble. To my left is Troy, Loose Boats. Bolts. Got some sort of a weave. And Susie, Elmo, Fleesick, down below me here. Tonight is a very fantastic night. Fantastic night. It's a beautiful night outside. It almost, dare I say, feels like fall is coming.
Let's
least
not
out here
we,
in Wisconsin.
no, we have stuff to build. Please don't be jumping the gun.
Okay, I'm getting excited. All right,
I'm excited, and I have a huge time. Like we're like little over 5 weeks. So yeah, but I love fall, and I love the feeling of fall. So I'm excited.
So with that 5 weeks, what's going on at the haunt? Anything fun?
I just got back from vacation, which, Troy posted some video of me last week on the beach. So that was fun.
Recovered nicely.
I did.
From the sunburn.
It was one day.
Was that a throwback photo?
My video, or was it a video or was it a photo? I don't remember.
Oh no, it was a full on video because
it was a full video.
I have people everywhere. Yeah.
Was this?
Well, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Was this after cocktails video? Did I miss
it was the before cocktails video that he posted. But while the show was going on last week, I was having cocktails, and so it was a good thing that I was not available for the show because it would have gone in a different direction. Let's just say that
the after cocktail video is for the extended.
Yeah, that's for absolutely. I realized though last week that I don't think people realize why I'm Elmo, because my actual Elmo impression never really made it onto the actual show. I don't believe.
Maybe that's the point.
So I think that's it. I don't know if am I the voice of Elmo? I might be. That might be my claim to fame
right now. If not, then you've got a good shot at being Elmo's stunt double.
Definitely. Oh my God, yeah.
But here's the thing: if you become Elmo's voice for Sesame Street, you're probably going to have to scrub all of your social media because that's not going to go.
It's not going to cut it. And I don't think the Elmo says the F-bomb as much as I do, so I don't think that's
probably not. Probably not. You can be on the adult Sesame Street. Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
There's,
over 18.
You know what? Probably if you browse the aisles behind the big curtains at the
video stores, adult puppets. Have either of you seen?
All you need to do.
Have you either seen Meet the Feebles?
Yes.
You have seen it? Oh my gosh. It is like Muppets meet the darkest fucked up shit ever. It's
Maybe I have. Where?
It's an 80s B-roll movie. It's called Meet the Feebles. It was like, I saw it a long ass time. It was like puppets doing crack and like, there's a guy getting a blowjob underneath the desk, and it's all puppets, and it's fucking hilarious. It is. There's just images burned into my head, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Go Meet the Feebles. It's probably free. You can probably find it somewhere for nothing.
Probably.
But it's
everybody go rush off and do that.
It's like what's the Centipede movie? Is it Centipede?
Human Centipede.
Yeah.
Human Centipede. It's like one of those movies you just have to watch it, and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, now you can talk about it, and everybody else is like, I've never seen that movie, and then you're like, just go see it. You'll be
like Two Girls, One Cup.
Yep, that's another one.
I was in that movie. I was in that movie. I was.
Right. Were you around when Two Girls, One Cup came out?
Yeah, I just told you I was in it.
No,
I was the best boy. I was the best boy. I was not the cup. I had the gaffer tape. Don't worry about
Troy the Cup Crivelone. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Wow, this took a dark turn. Very dark turn.
Now I'm there we go.
Okay.
All right.
Let's wow.
You know what? I own it.
Let's just switch it. Troy.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've got no news. I was on vacation. We're doing
Were there cups involved?
Go on.
With the vacation?
Maybe.
No?
Could be.
Could be.
You were not the cup, so.
You.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Better than being a teapot. All right.
Anyway, Troy, let's lighten this up. What's going on? What's going on with your head?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought there was a lead into something.
Yeah.
Usually you have a lead into something when you.
No, I literally just thought you know what? I usually do. I mean, we do have a clown coming on the show in a little bit, but it looks like we've almost gone from two. I mean, he's not really a clown. He clowns around, but I guess that'd be my segue for the hair, But other than that, I was driving around today and I thought I should wear an afro tonight.
Oh, I got something for you guys.
Okay.
It's not more of a statement of what's going on, but I have a question for you. You said driving around, it made me think of something. When was the last time either of you picked up something off the side of the road and used it in your haunt?
Literally on the way home from camping.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Camping in the RV, and I drove by a full sheet of styrofoam, 2-inch white foam.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I turned around after I dropped the motorhome off, grabbed Ashley's truck, and went right back and grabbed it. So
that's hilarious.
It will be used in the haunt. Yes.
I just picked up something last night. It was
What'd you get?
Two shelves. They were 2 wooden shelves. They were huge. We were walking around the lake last night, and Angie's like, "Oh, we could use that at the house." I'm like, "We can use this to store haunt shit."
Yeah.
Like, really? I'm like, "Well, if you're gonna help me get it, I'm not helping you get it." Okay, then it's mine then. So that's how that happened.
That's right.
I do this thing. Well, our town does this like cleanup day in the spring and a cleanup day in the fall. So when we do the spring cleanup day, I make a big post on Facebook and I'm like, anybody that has anything that you'd think I'd need for the haunt, let me know. Send me pictures of it. You're digging it out anyway to put it on the curb. So if I want it, don't put it on the curb and I'll give you free tickets to the haunt. And we get some interesting things, but everybody wants to give me their damn TVs. Everybody wants to give me a TV. I'm like, I don't want any TV.
You need to have a room that is just TVs.
Like all of them playing
static. Something different. And all playing something different. I mean, that'd be pretty hard.
All on sides and shit.
We did a static TV room. Yeah, it was all the old TVs.
You could even do that in the queue line. Just stack them up in the queue line, and
I totally like.
Surprised how many screws you can put in them before they stop working. Not lying, man. There's a lot of empty space.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So do you have any news, Dan?
No, I don't. That was all. I just wanted to talk about what kind of garbage we picked up for haunt stuff.
For those of you who were watching last week, we had Jonathan Perry on from the Psychotic Circus of Savannah, and he also is a big spirit. You know what? We're a family-friendly show, so he's a spirit whore. He loves spirit. And so we have it's not a world premiere because he already put it on his YouTube page, but we actually have, he said, if you were watching, he said he was going to do a spirit rap, or maybe he said it afterwards. I don't know, but
no, I think
he did say it during the show. But yes, he has done a song about spirit, and he did it as a rap.
Wait. He already produced that? That's already out?
He did.
Holy shitball.
Would you like to listen to it, Dan?
I would love to listen to it.
Okay.
I'm not
ready to dance. Okay.
Is this good stuff or what?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Hey. This right here be that spirit Halloween. All my home haunters know we need that. This right here be that spirit Halloween. Everybody know we need that. This right here be that spirit Halloween. This right here be that spirit Halloween. Tractor foes, a cracking skull, just like pistachios. Don't get bucked down from the grassy knoll, cause I carry him, it's just like I'm whacking mo. Turn rappers to a bloody bag of jokes, looking like Puncture Pete when you slash the poke. International harvester, snatch your souls. Then I stuff all your creatures in my catacombs. My haunted house be the talk of the town. I might run with a circus, but y'all are clown. I'm vicious and my vision is regular count, but still wise by my pennies when I'm breaking the ground. Whack rappers catching asthma attacks. Tear mics like bus, all scratching his back. So name another haunted that can sound tighter and keep the whole party jumping all night like a brown spider. You Johnny punks can't knock my Henry hustle. I swing arms crazy like my name was Cuddle. So raise up like Mr. Dark. Cerberus is vicious bark. Got nothing on my verses when I spit this hard. Open your ears and focus to hear it. I call this rapping the flagship and open to spirit. I'm the dopest in here, and anyone that want a shot, I'll take your scary style, your whole fight in a box. Any challenge I think it'll win. This is Camp Crystal Lake, boy, you see you swim. I can swear that the outcome is gonna be grim. Uppercut to your zombies, right Like this and subscribe if it pleases you. I'm this right here, be that spirit Halloween. All my home hunters know we need that. This right here, be that spirit Halloween. Everybody know we need that. This right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, be that spirit Halloween. This right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, be that spirit Halloween. I'm Ghost. I'm Ghost.
Dude, that was
I love it.
badass.
I
Right?
love it.
Badass.
He got
I
so
love
many
it.
of the prop names in there. Like that was awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
good.
I
So
feel
is
like
Spirit like? Has they seen this? Are they gonna like?
I don't know
respond?
if they've seen. I am on his. Oh, and he's decided to make it an annual series as well. And it is available on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube Music, Apple Music.
I love it.
You know, I'm reading through the comments. I don't believe that
they'll see it
on there yet, but
Yeah,
Oh,
it has
they'll
been
pick that up. I
viewed.
mean,
It's been viewed only 1,124 times. So we need
That's awesome.
everybody to get out there. We're going to post it on
Share
Haunt
it.
Collective and Haunt
Yeah. Oh my
Insiders.
god. Hell yeah.
Share
I'm
the
gonna
crap
share
out of it.
that one. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. When
Yeah.
he said he was going to do it, I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And it sounds like, you know, going viral and all that stuff is potential, but that's a catchy song. Like,
Yeah.
that needs a little bit more video behind it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
more of his face. But other than that, it's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely
It was
love
really good.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He said
So
he
I
would.
changed his name.
He said he's going to make it an annual thing.
Oh my god.
It looks like every year he's going to come out with a
That's
new rap.
great.
I want to come out.
The new props.
I want to come out and defend him. I want to come
Yeah.
out and break him down
There
with
you go.
something against
cool.
him. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I like it.
We'll let him get his fame first, and then we'll come after him.
Well, of course, because then we got to say, hey, remember that time you were on that little show that was for an hour?
Little
You
show.
know, yeah, you should remember us, you know.
Anyway, speaking of that little show and remembering us, we still have somebody we're supposed to talk to tonight, correct?
We do. And
Let's-
I mean, I'm ready. If you're ready,
I'm
you ready?
I'm ready for one of the most awesomest people around. Are you ready?
He is awesome. That's what I've heard. I've also been paid to say it. I have to say it.
All right, everybody, welcome Maximus Bryant. How are
Now-
you doing this evening, sir?
I'm pretty tired. I just actually got here from the haunt. I was on the build crew. We were digging mud, shoveling gravel, digging fence post holes. I'm tired.
So for those of those that don't know and didn't read the title of this, you work for Dent Schoolhouse, correct?
I'm an actor, and I work on the build crew at the Dent Schoolhouse in Cincinnati, Ohio.
And for those of those that don't know the Dent Schoolhouse, this haunt is badass. I was there probably a long time ago.
I was there in 2015. We actually went. We took a road trip. My family took a road trip, and because we knew we were opening our haunted school the following year, and everybody was like, "If you're opening a haunted school, you got to go to Dent because they are the ones that do the best." So you guys have been a huge inspiration for us.
It's funny. I went there for the same reason because I ran Haunted High out here, well, it's no longer Haunted High. Rest in peace, Haunted High. But it was a big schoolhouse, and it was. Everybody, you got to go to Dent Schoolhouse. You got to go to Dent Schoolhouse.
Mm-hmm.
They do it right.
Yep.
And I went, and it was 2015, 2016. It was one of the MHC haunt tours a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
When MHC was in Ohio, and that's when I went and saw it. It was awesome. Oh, absolutely awesome.
Well, we change a good portion of it every year. So I would, if you came back, you'd see a almost totally different show at this point now.
We've actually talked about coming back. My family. We have this year. We're only open Fridays and Saturdays So we thought, oh, could we make it for a Sunday? Like, can we make this a little trip? Running a haunt, obviously we're busy, but we've talked about it over the past couple of years. We've talked about like, is this the year we go back to Dent? Because we know you guys change it like tremendously. So
visiting haunts is one of my favorite things to do, but same struggle, with the working schedule. And we're open in October from Thursday through Sunday. So, even if you find one of those haunts that are open for a Sunday or Thursday, still can't visit them. There is one nearby that's open on a Wednesday, so we get to visit them. But other than that, it's not the easiest. But we are having a haunter night on September 30th, where if a haunter comes and they wear their swag from their haunt, their shirts, their jackets, or whatever, they get a discounted ticket. And that's the Dent Schoolhouse's way of celebrating being a haunted attraction for 25 years in Cincinnati. And it happened with a lot of help and support from the haunt community. So haunters come out Thursday, September 30th for a haunter night. Discounted ticket. I'd love to meet you. I've been trying to spread the word as much as I can. And I know most of the haunts out there are Friday and Saturday haunts. So Thursday, September 30th. Yeah. Hopefully maybe I get to meet you.
Yeah. My husband told me that you messaged him and he was like, it's September 30th. Should we do it? And I'm like, well, that would only be our second weekend because we opened the weekend before. And I'm like, I don't know, babe. I don't know if we can pull that off. So probably not going to make it for that night. But if we do come, it'll most likely be a Sunday. And, we'll bring you guys you're, I don't know how far away you guys are from us, but it's quite a drive. I want to say it's on the 4.5 hour end, maybe. So it's not like a quick, if it was 3, I'd do 3. I don't know why 3 is like my limit. Like not my limit, but like in a day. You know what I mean? Drive there, go to it, drive home.
Hours round trip.
You just need an extra can of Monster. You can do it.
Oh, that's running through my veins all the time.
That's right.
So Max, tell us a little bit about your history as a haunter. Where did you get your start? What inspired you to start scaring, so to speak?
Well, I would say from the very beginning was my birth. While my mother was going through the process of giving birth to me, I guess there was a point where my heart stopped, and it kind of freaked her out because they were trying to induce everything, and it freaked her out. So she was pretty scared by that, and I was born on Halloween night, so
nice.
it just kind of
waiting for that.
It was like a birthright, basically. So from there, all my birthday parties were either going trick-or-treating or being in costume or something like that. Always loved Halloween on account of where my birthday lies. I guess I've told other places that my start was in 2012, but I remember there was an instance in 2005 where I wanted to put on a haunted catacombs in my church. My church is about 175 years old. They have these like creepy catacombs in the bottom. I put on a haunt thing. It was tied with church stuff, but my church had always used to do it, and then they stopped, and then I brought it back. So that was the first instance where I guess I put on kind of a haunt thing. And then in 2012, my neighborhood asked me to put on a haunted backyard because we were trying to bring more kids to our neighborhood for trick-or-treating. There were years where I would only get 5 or 6 kids, and then we decided we'd close the streets off, make it safe for everybody to cross the streets, and the local church would have activities, and they asked me to do a haunted backyard, and so I put on a haunted backyard. Simple thing, real simple, but it became a tradition from there for 3 years. Then in 2015, I moved to Cincinnati for a job. And then I started looking up websites of haunted attractions, all the ones in Cincinnati, like Mount Healthy Haunted Hall, USS Nightmare, several others, Land of Illusion. But when I found the Dent Schoolhouse's website, I fell in love with the story of Dent Schoolhouse, and it just grabbed me. I was on YouTube looking up every bit of content on the Dent Schoolhouse I could find, and that's what led me to apply there. And I was lucky to be able to get a position as an actor.
Look at that.
I love that. I love how you say you were lucky enough to get a position as an actor, because that
right.
That's
little did I know at the time. I remember when they told me, like, we're going to offer you a position. I was like, yes! And little did I know that, sometimes haunts struggle to find enough people to act. And, the amount of people that try it out and end up leaving because they find out how difficult it can be and stuff like that. But no, it's been a blessing. I consider it a blessing. It's been hard at times. I almost quit my first weekend. I almost quit after my first year, but I came to scare, but it was really my, what I will call my haunt family, at Dent that kept me coming back year after year. And I'm about to enter my 7th season at Dent.
Yeah, that's awesome. They're lucky to have you.
And so what did you do the first year that you were there?
First year. So the Dent Schoolhouse is the school building, if you've seen photos. But in the back, there's a secondary attraction called the Queen City Slaughter Yard that is a nod to the big pork industry that Cincinnati has been known for. So it's kind of set up like a pig pen, meat industry kind of thing. I was a pig man with a chainsaw that my first year. And that's why I almost quit my first couple nights, because I just couldn't get the chainsaw to go. Like, it just wouldn't go. And I remember the manager walking.
Nobody's had that problem.
Yeah. Well, the manager walked by my box, and I was freaking out because when the managers walk by, we have to act on them. We're not allowed to not act. They want to see us act. So he walks by, the chainsaw doesn't go. I don't know what to do. And I seriously thought I was going to be fired or something. My first year, I was in the Queen City Slaughter Yard. I had chainsaw many times. There were sometimes I was just a generic pig man that was coming out and calling everybody a little piggy and how we were going to cut them up and all kinds of stuff like that. That was a fun introductory year. But at least I was outside and could get the breeze when.
Yeah,
right.
Like crazy.
And so, when did they ask you to? Well, how did your character come about?
You're talking about Pumpkin Smasher?
Uh-huh.
So the Pumpkin Smasher is the Dent Schoolhouse's creation. So one thing I have to make clear is that I didn't make Pumpkin Smasher. Pumpkin Smasher existed before me, and he belongs to the Dent Schoolhouse. Nice. 4 other people actually portrayed him before I got the chance to do so. So the story of the Dent Schoolhouse is about the janitor that murdered all the children in the 40s and 50s. And since then, Dent has kind of started introducing other characters like Geister Curvis, who's a pumpkin guy that has come out of the pumpkin patch and carved humans up because humans have carved all of his pumpkin family. And Pumpkin Smasher is one of his victims. Because of it, you just saw his mutilated face. So Pumpkin Smasher was attacked by Geister, and now he's seeking revenge on Geister and everything. So Pumpkin Smasher existed about 3 years before I got the chance to portray him, and it was about 2017, 2018, where I auditioned for him like the 4th time, and I finally got to be Pumpkin Smasher. And it's a big deal because a lot of actors are pushing to be in the queue line. Right. A lot of actors want to be queue line actors. And so there were people auditioning, and I failed 3 previous times auditioning for Pumpkin Smasher. I wanted it so bad, but it just didn't happen. So, 2017, 2018, I got my chance finally, and I've been lucky enough to portray him since then.
How does that work? Do you hold that character until you retire it?
No,
or do you have to try out every year to be Pumpkin Smasher?
I have to try out every single year to get him, and basically every single night is an audition, because it's Dent's character, right? So I have to fit what they want Pumpkin Smasher to be, and if I'm not fitting what they want Pumpkin Smasher to be, then I get pulled. And I've done it successfully now, I guess, for 3 years. I haven't gotten pulled yet, but it could happen at any point. And we just hired, the new actor crew for the year. I know several of them want to go for Q Line, so I have to audition for Pumpkin Smasher again. So, when you see the big guy in orange, who knows who it's going to be. My fingers are crossed that I get it, but it's not guaranteed. And if I don't get him, I'll I'll be somewhere else, and I'll do my best wherever that is.
So Pumpkin Smasher is technically strictly Q. You'll never see him inside.
You can see him inside. He has been inside before. There are times when something happens and Pumpkin Smasher is called to go indoors to fill a scene or or help out in a certain area, or it's just so bad weather outside that they're kind enough to pull him inside to get out of the awful weather that's outside.
Right.
So he's mostly in the queue line, but he's not exclusive to it. He could end up anywhere.
And because I've seen, and mainly since I've known you these last couple of years, that it almost seems like since you've become Pumpkin Smasher, they've marketed it more and they've pushed it out. I know there's some merch with it on there now, and I mean, do you think that the way you've portrayed the character has made people want to go and see him? And do you think people are like, oh, you got to go to this haunt because in the queue line, wait for the Pumpkin Smasher guy? Do you think that that's happening? I know that's kind of an ego.
Yes. I mean, yes and no. Well, I have to almost say no because it's going to sound extremely arrogant if I say
it's fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
But there is a thing that Pumpkin Smasher likes to do that kind of creates the effect that you're talking about. What he likes to do is take people's cell phones. And what he'll do is he'll take a video of himself and he will say, Pumpkin Smasher here at the Dent Schoolhouse. It's hard to do the voice without the costume, but
right.
But here I'm here with such and such, and I will shove the phone in that person's face and get them involved in the video. I'm like, they're brave enough to be here, but you're cowardly. Show yourself. And then I'll send it to all their friends, right? and then I'll save the video on their phone. And what that does is it first of all, it just sends the video out to all their friends, right? And so then their friends will come up to me and they'll be like, hey, you stole you stole Troy's phone and you messaged me from Troy's phone. Like, okay, I'll take your word for it. I probably did. And then they'll come back the next year. And then the next year they'll be like, hey, you took my phone. You took a video last year. I'm like, bullcrap, prove it. And then they'll pull up the video and then, real quick, I get to see what I said. And then we have to create a new video and we'll make a new video and send it out to their friends. And so it kind of, I'm basically, planting some seeds, doing some investing, and hopefully it comes back. Right. And that's kind of what's happened. So if somebody earns the Pumpkin Smasher spot, they're going to have to deal with that. Following up on videos that someone else created the year before.
Big shoes to fill there,
right. It's like when a home haunter moves and a bunch of people line up on Halloween night at this empty house. Like, what? I actually had to do that. I had to go back to my old neighborhood and say, hey, when we used to live here and this happened here, just be prepared. There may be some people that come out on Halloween night. So
that's awesome.
This is a video example of what I'll do. I'll just shove the phone in their face and be like, I'm here. This is clearly not a COVID year video.
Right.
But yeah, that's that was one from a couple years ago.
So you were an actor inside the haunt for a couple years? Can I say safely a couple years?
Yeah, 2-3 years.
Did you progressively move up to bigger and better roles, or did you just say, screw it, I'm going to go all out and be a Q line actor?
Well, I've auditioned for the Q line actor since the second year. And so after my first year, I got to go into a kitchen scene. And in the kitchen scene, there's no place to hide. So the character has to be very dialogue driven. And I got a chance that year to show off my dialogue ability. The people had to walk around the table, and the whole time they're there, I have to, create the scene, create my world, interact with them, have my go-to lines, and then also respond as people throw me whatever response they might have. If they try to get all smart with me, I got to throw it back at them, right?
Right.
So I was in the kitchen, and that was a pretty heavy dialogue-driven scene. And then the year after, I was in another scene that was more of a distraction scare where the ceiling would drop, and in that scene, I would have to direct people's attention to be like, don't let anything fall on your head. And they'll be like, what? And boom, the ceiling would fall on them. So I think from early on, they've kept me out of pop scares. They've kept me out of those mostly, and I've been able to show dialogue. So I think that's probably what helped me end up in the queue line, because in queue line, you're just always on. You don't get to wait in between groups. You're just there and you're always on. So I think the scenes that I made my way to were kind of a precursor for them to be able to see what I could do, and then trust me to be able to handle it in the queue line.
Do you stay in that position all year round? So if you're in the kitchen scene with dialogue, are you in that spot all season? Is it you show up to the haunt? Walk me through the time you get to the haunt to, the first patrons come through. Like, what's it look like for Maximus on any given night at the haunt?
Well, I have my call time, which is sent to me ahead of time. So that call time is when I have to come and check in, and I go and check in with our manager, and Margaret will tell me, confirm if I'm in a scene. Now, things happen. People either call off sick, people quit, something like that. So we are never guaranteed to be in the spot that we think we're going to be in. Like I said, so the year I was in the kitchen, there were times when I would go and all of a sudden I would have to be in the workshop, or I would have to be in a classroom or something like that. And that's pretty much when I would find out, when I would go and check in. So I would check in, find out where I'm going to be, and then I go get my costume and wait for my turn in makeup. And then I go get ready, maybe final restroom break, and then get my scene and get ready to go for the night. So, I mean, they're being an actor there, you have to be ready to fill in anywhere. And at times you kind of have to put a little bit of pride to the side for the, benefit of the haunt. Like, I'm proud of being in the queue line, but if I'm asked to be somewhere because that's where they need me, I must go,
Yeah.
That's what comes with it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people start out thinking they're going to be in the queue line. It's funny. I just got a message yesterday from somebody I know that's not an actor in my haunt. And she said, hey, can I, of course she didn't know the word queue, but she said, can I be out front and just run around scaring people? Do you still need people? And I'm like, no, you don't get to do that. But I think that people that even my inside actors don't realize what it takes to be a queue actor. And having done it myself, how many times do you visit the chiropractor during haunt season? Because I'm going to tell you, my body contorts in the strangest ways when I'm queue acting. It's the weirdest thing. My neck does these weird things, and I don't know. I just become obviously a different person. But it's like I even actors inside don't really get it.
It's fucking exhausting.
Two thoughts I just thought on when you said that. One, my very first night in the queue line, I have the silicone mask on. I'm not used to what silicone masks are, and that's one thing. All of our queue line characters have to be able to be switched around to anybody has to be able to portray them. Like, for example, if I don't show up one night, but they still want Pumpkin Smasher out there, they still have the outfit, and anybody can get into it. And be there. So. So we're pretty much in these masks, right? It's early September. It's so hot.
Mm-hmm.
I almost passed out my first night.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hydrate well enough. I didn't take care of myself very well. I didn't exercise. I remember being on the ground and having, our costume person bringing ice packs to cool me down and everything. I wasn't ready for it. That, and the second thing is that the front area for us is all gravel. So it's not a sturdy ground, we're kind of always adjusting, and being on gravel for the entire night really takes a toll. Your knees hurt and everything just hurts. So I have heavy silicone on top. I'm dealing with the gravel below. It's not easy. And like I said earlier, you're always on. You don't get those breaks. like you would in between scenes. You know, sometimes when you're in the scene, sometimes you have conga lines, but there are times when you get like a 10-second thing in between. Sometimes it's a minute, sometimes it's 2 minutes. Q line, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Now there are benefits. The night does go by faster.
It does. Yeah.
People do take a lot of photos with you. It ends up on Instagram. It's actually kind of nice to go through Instagram and see the photos people have taken of that night. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
But it's exhausting. It's very exhausting, and you must be well to, I think, take care of yourself in order to do that. But that's advice I would give to haunters in general. Like I said, I almost quit my first night because I just didn't realize how physically exhausting it was. And I had a veteran actor even tell me, like, dude, you are going to hurt. It didn't matter how much he told me that. I didn't understand what he said until I went through it.
No.
It hurt.
That's the truth right there.
I thought that I was being crafty a couple of years ago. I used my Wilbur character and I went to a haunt, and I just did queue line for them one night, just hung out, and I brought my wheelchair. And so I thought, man, this is going to be awesome. I get to be in a wheelchair the whole time and just run around the queue line and just mess with people.
How bad did your arms hurt the next
Not realizing my arms were like jelly at the end. I was like, I can't even move.
You probably couldn't even lift them.
Oh yeah, no. I was dead. After a while, somebody started just coming out and pushing me around because I was like, I couldn't really. I was like, well, this just makes sense. They're pushing me around, so that's fine. But I thought, man, I got to sit down the entire time. This is awesome. And it was about 2 hours in. I was like, this terrible. But I do anytime I've done, because when I was a kid I acted in a haunted house for my church, and then when I've ever done haunts myself, I've never been inside the haunt. I've always been outside, either as the person letting people in or as an actor outside. And so I definitely I love that, because Max is a lot like me, where we love to talk to people. So even though you're in character, you're still talking to them and you're still having a good time and you're interacting with what they're saying. And I love that fact that you don't even have to have a dialogue as a queue line actor, because you're going off of what those people are talking about. You'll walk up to one of them, you'll hear somebody say something, and then you'll go to that other friend and use that. I went over and helped somebody break up with somebody because the girls were on the other part and the guy was over there, and they were like, you need to go tell him we're done and he needs to go in. I was like, oh, let's go. And I rolled over in the wheelchair, And so it's a very interacting thing, and I love queue line acting, but I get what, like Susie says, it's not something that you get to just be like, oh, you guys have queue line actor, I want to come. No, you have to earn
it. Takes a special person too, because we had somebody once that came from another haunt that was kind of before we knew better than to just say, hey, you can queue line act. Just said some things that were not acceptable. And you just can't have that. So it's just very, and Max knows, you just have to be there's a line.
Oh, yes.
There is a very, very thin line, and you just can't cross that line, because you start pissing people off, and then it's just, you could get canceled. The entire haunt could be canceled.
Well, yeah, and it's actually a challenge because Pumpkin Smasher is supposed to be a character that is like the uncle that messes with you, but you're also supposed to like him. So, like, how do I insult somebody in a way that makes them still like me, or like
laugh about it?
It's not the easiest, and you have to avoid certain subjects, like you're not allowed to comment on weight or the other obvious things you should avoid.
Right.
I do know that there have been times where a person has offended a customer, and the customer will say something to management, and that's kind of their that's an issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So and you shouldn't be going to try to offend people anyway. You want them entertained.
Right.
You want them to laugh, because they're in a line for 3 hours.
Yes.
And it is the most, queue line actors have always really been a thing, but they haven't been something that's been a focal point. And I think a lot of haunts are really noticing now in probably the last 10, 15 years that is like integral to your haunt. Because if you have a crappy queue line, people will remember that, because they spend 15 minutes in the haunt or a half an hour in the haunt, but they spent 3 hours outside of your building. You've got to make those 3 hours memorable, because, and all of you know this, that when you look on the reviews, they always talk about how long they had to wait in line. The ones that you don't see that are the ones that have great queue line actors because they don't realize they've
How
been
long
in it
they've
for
been
3
waiting.
hours.
Yeah.
Because you mess with them, but then they get to watch you mess with the person down the row. Or when, you know, and a lot of haunts have the Disneyland queue lines, so you get to see that person get hit 3 or 4 times. And Max, I saw him do this in the video. He went back to those same people 2 or 3 times in line to still mess with them, you know. And yeah, maybe that was by happenstance, but also sometimes it's by design. You know, I'm going to pick on this person every time I see him, you know.
So go ahead.
We started last year with no queue actors because of COVID.
Oh yeah.
We didn't know if that was a good idea. And then we kind of took a cue from like the haunts around us, and we were like, oh shit, they have queue actors this year. Let's, you know, we got to get this going. So we had like 1 or 2, but we just were very cautious with last year. We did things that we didn't do things we wanted to do. But we had a great season regardless, but it was tough with the queue actors. And I see, Max, you guys had masks on and things, and it
it made it a little difficult as far as photos went, but you know, we also had about 6 people out there with a 6-foot length of PVC pipe that we called our COVID police, and they were sticking that pipe in between groups and being like 6 feet apart.
Do you guys use anything in your because I know there was a haunt in Canada I went to a couple years ago that they used their queue line actors to relay information to the haunt itself. So like names or individual things. Do you guys use anything like that where like you might scream a name out or somebody can hear you and then they use that name in the haunt as the person's going through?
That's certainly always a possibility.
Nice.
Well played.
I do believe in taking tips from you know, if somebody's being like, hey, you know, this person over here, I mean, you know, my pride doesn't get in the way. I'm perfectly fine with being like, ooh, they're pointing out the target. All right, let's go. So I'm all for getting tipped off by the people in line.
So to kind of piggyback on that getting tipped off, how do you, as a queue line actor, for other those people that are aspiring or other queue line actors, how do you know the right group to target? Like, is there a process that you go through to target a group? Like, you know, obviously you can, at least when I did it, it was, you could tell which people you wanted to steer away from, which ones were petrified and you knew you could go after. Like, what is it? Like, what would you say would be the right formula for a queue line actor to hit a group in a queue line?
I'm trying to, the answer to your question, I'm trying to say this in a way that's extremely respectful. Your question is not the question somebody should ask. What I mean by that is that, and what I'm trying to say is everybody's supposed to be a target. Okay. Like, as in, I like to look, you know, I'm looking through the crowd. There are certain people staring at me. Okay. And I'll catch their eyes. Right. And then I'll just walk away from them, but I know that they were looking for me, right? And then when I know that they're not looking, that's when I can go and attack, you know, go swing with the hammer or something like that. Yep. Now, there are people who aren't looking at me to begin with, and I can totally just catch them off guard. There's a group of teenage boys that's easy to go. You know, you find the one who is kind of like hiding in the back, and you can like go after them. There's a group of teenage girls that you can just flinch at and they all scream, you know? And so they're basically, my point is that whatever I'm against, whether it be gender or age or whatever it is, you know, whatever the group consists of, I have a tactic for each one.
Oh, wow.
Like if it's just a couple, you know, like a boyfriend and girlfriend couple, for example. My tactic is to usually go up and, you know, ask the girl, are you sure you want to go through with this guy? And then, like, I'm not sure he's going to be able to keep you safe, you know? And then I'll square him up, look him up and down, you know, start challenging him. You know, stuff like that. And then I get pulled into certain things sometimes. Like, for example, if they want photos, like if somebody's like, can I take a photo with you? Well, as soon as everybody sees that person took a photo with me, then they want a photo, and then this group wants a photo, and this group, and then it just kind of, you know, Dixie chains that way, and to where I'm just doing photos for like 5 minutes all of a sudden because somebody starts it. I get thrown a lot of things, and I have to be ready for like a lot of it. So I don't target anybody in particular per se. I'm given what I'm given, and I just have to know how to, go about each circumstance. And I have a go-to tactic for pretty much any group, but sometimes I'm throwing a curveball and I have to react to it. As far as anybody to avoid, if somebody, I tend to avoid anybody that I believe is seriously petrified. Like if I think that they are like not having a good time, for example, like to the point where like they're 2 seconds away from actually leaving, just from too much like being scared. Overload. I tend to avoid them, just because it's like, when you get the sense that they're not having a good time, I leave them alone. There's no point. This is potentially an individual who's going to go into the haunt, hold everything up because you can't push them into the next room.
Right. Have you ever been attacked because you've been squaring up the gentleman?
Yeah. How do you react with pushback? Hostiles or pushback, or people that aren't scared and are trying to confront you.
If somebody becomes, if you get the sense that they're trying to be violent, then you turn it into a joke. Like you make it funny. You like, as a character, you're trying to, like Pumpkin Smasher is supposed to be big and tough and everything. Well, if the dude is like taking this seriously, like, dude, you're seriously going to fight a fun actor. Well, then you just turn it into a joke.
Yeah.
And either either they take it as a joke and, laugh it off and then it's done, or it gets too serious and then you get security. But, I mean, we're told kind of certain continuums to use as far as intervening with guests that are getting out of line. But, if we're able to do it in character and keep it light, and if they go along with what we need, then it's all good.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would tell aspiring haunt actors looking to join the Dent Schoolhouse or any haunted house? Is there anything you would tell them, words of wisdom?
Drink plenty of water. Try to avoid greasy foods before coming to work.
Why?
Just like physically take care of yourself. I really think that's the best thing you can do. The acting, the dialogue, the how to work your scene, that comes with practice. Like no matter how much prep I did, I always screwed up on the first group that came through my scene any night. I like it. You need the first few groups to go through before you get your mojo going, and don't be afraid of the first few groups. You're going to mess it up. It's okay. It's fine. You're figuring yourself out. By the end of the night, you will know what to do. It's okay. But the first thing still is you got to physically take care of yourself. And I wish I could push that point as much as possible, because that's just what's necessary. Any haunter needs to do that. And if one was to apply a Dent to work, I love my haunt family. We try to hold the haunt to a very high standard, and come willing to work.
So you talked about how like for like a Q line actor, how do you go take a break? Like, can you just walk away and then just come back out, right?
So there's typically more than one of us. There's usually about 3 of us, or there could be more, there could be less. And we just kind of take turns. Like we notify the other 2, and then we go, and then we come back before our time's up. And then
so you've never used like a stunt double or anything like that?
No.
I mean,
not that I'm aware of.
Because we found a stunt double for you, so you could take more
Is
breaks.
he in Orlando, Florida?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maximus Bryant is awesome. What?
What?
we had to bring the stunt double on.
What's up, guys?
Johnny Bronto.
I have arrived. I thought I was on the show tonight. You told me the wrong time.
This is the best surprise ever.
What's up, guys? Hey, nice shirt there, Troy.
I thought, nobody else would get it. I thought maybe Max might have gotten it.
I know, right?
Oh,
You can't see it.
Oh,
This was worn by the haunt
The.
scene.
This is true.
The Johnny.
yes.
It's you know what? It's still. Oh, it does.
Well, I just have to.
It reeks of cinnamon and ginger.
I use it as a pillowcase in my RV.
So I have to put the rumors to rest.
Yeah.
You guys are not related. You guys are not twins.
We're not.
we're ginger brothers, I'd say.
Yeah.
This is true.
But no, different mothers and fathers.
Yeah.
As-
We had quite
as
the
far
quite
as
the
we know.
experience
So
trying to
separated at
differentiate
birth?
you guys.
Not separated at birth.
Maybe.
What are your birthdays? I know yours is October 31st.
He's a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. I was born in November.
November 1st? Maybe you are.
Right.
When
guys
did
were
we
in
born on
incubators.
different days?
You guys were in neighboring
I mean,
incubators.
I think I'm a little bit younger than him too.
Yeah, I'm old.
I don't know. Johnny's
So-
pushing maybe
Well,
27.
for those that are watching and don't know who Johnny Bronto is, he is the haunt scene. He's what's your title, Johnny? You are haunt scene, but what is haunt scene? For
I have many
people that
titles.
don't know.
Haunt Scene is a travel show for haunted attractions and other spooky stuff. Can I swear on this show?
Yes, you can.
absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a travel show for haunted attractions and other spooky shit. That's what we
There
do.
you go. There you go.
Oh,
Yes.
Johnny, are you planning on going to the Dent Schoolhouse?
I've been to the Dent Schoolhouse several times, and Max was there both times. That's actually where Max and I met.
Mhm.
I met him as Pumpkin Smasher, and I remember before I even knew Max, before I even knew that Max was a clone of mine, a wayward clone. We met. It was obviously Kismet. I asked Pumpkin Smasher what his favorite band was.
Obviously Hanson. Obviously.
But we hit it off, and then I think we met for realsies at HauntCon in New Orleans, and then we've met each other at other places, and then I went up on our 50th road trip last year. We went up to Ohio and we got to hang out. Max drove us around, and we got to see some of Springfield, Ohio, and Foy's and some stuff. So Maximus was nice to drive me and a former teammate of mine around.
Well, and Johnny, I think, actually got one of the most early photos of me as Pumpkin Smasher.
Yeah.
I don't remember at what point in the season you came, but it's like the image that a lot of other people have used since then.
It was probably the first or second week of October, because that's usually when we do our road trips.
Yeah. You got one.
That was our first. That was our first road trip. Actually, we went all the way from Florida all the way up to Michigan and back. Yeah. Yep. Dent was on the list.
I was so happy that he came too, and it was like, oh, they're here from Florida. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So Maximus, when you saw Johnny in the queue line before you guys knew each other, you're like, damn, he looks like me. Did you even think that, or were you just off in character land?
I think I was pretty much full Pumpkin Smasher mode at that point.
Got it.
Like, for example, they were wearing black shirts with orange on it, and Pumpkin Smasher believes that anytime somebody's wearing orange, it's in tribute to him.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure we were pretty bundled up too, because it's usually cold when we were up there. So
Yeah. Well, anybody from Florida, anywhere else north of Florida,
Right.
I mean, I'm from Detroit. I've just been down here so long that my blood's thinned out. So
Yeah.
But the queue line's usually out there about 30 minutes before the show starts. So, and Johnny and Melissa were already out there, and
I chronically show up early to every haunt I go to.
Right. I'm like, who are these people here so early? And they're not waiting in line either.
Why are we here like an hour early?
He's doing like 360 panoramic photos and everything.
Yep. If that would have been this year, I would have had like the drone flying in the sky and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny and Haunt Scene are definitely the the technical masters of these Halloween shows. He definitely has the we don't have a budget, and so we have just things hanging behind us and mirrors and a kitchen. Johnny's got Johnny told, I think it was probably a couple months ago, but you were like, yeah, I got to work on my background. It's kind of, it's like, whatever. I was like, dude, you have one of the coolest backgrounds in video stuff.
Hold on, hold on. You guys want me to pull my green screen effects down? I can do that too. Yeah. I actually have 2 green screens. I have one over here too. When I pull them both down, my entire back wall is a green screen.
Nice.
So,
oh my gosh.
So I go
he's got this down, and then Max is just there in his blue background.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I like it.
It does. It shows off your eyes. I got you.
Love you too, Troy.
You guys are amazing. Well, I think that wraps up the show. I just wanted to say thank you, Maximus. You are awesome. You are awesome.
You are awesome.
Hold on. Johnny, thanks for coming on and being a great sport.
There we go. There it is. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, and so how people know what this is, Max is the sponsor of the Home Haunter Award show put on by the Halloween Yard Haunts and Props, the ones that I and Christopher Presley put on. And that is the logo that we are forced to put on everything. And we are forced to say under contract and penalty of law that Maximus Christian Bryant is awesome. And but it's true though.
But you got to add some context to this story before we go. It's the funniest story I've ever heard. So give us the before, the reason why you have to say it. It's funny as hell. I absolutely
because we were doing a private chat. We do this every couple of nights, and so we were just talking about the show. We were talking about sponsors and everything like that, and Christopher was talking about it, and Max was like, "Well, how much does it cost to sponsor the show?" And we're like, because we were telling him the different levels. We had a gold level, and it was you get your name on it, your logo, you sponsor the show. We say it all over the place, logo, all that kind of stuff. And so he's like, "Well, how much is that?" And I can't remember how much it was. It was like $8,000 or something like that. And so he goes along and he's like, "Well, that'd be kind of cool." And he's like, "But I don't have a company, and I'm like, "You don't have to have a company." I was like, "You could just sponsor it as yourself." And, we're just talking, we're drinking, we're, whatever, not being serious. And I look at my phone and there is a Maximus Christian Bryant sent you money. And I'm like, oh. And
$8,000.
My phone, it also goes straight to my bank account. And I'm like, oh. So I message Christopher and I go, "Christopher, Max just sent me money. He's the sponsor of the show for 2 years now." And he's like, "What?" And we're like, so me and Christopher are talking off the chat on our phones. Max is just sitting there going, doo, 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 doo. So then we had another haunter make that logo for him, Kevin, our friend Kevin. He made the logo, sent it over to me, and now it's on everything. And
oh my god!
So
such a great story.
Yep. So you can be a sponsor as your own person.
Well, it's not just me. It's the fact that I'm awesome.
Absolutely.
Right. It's the sentiment. Absolutely. The sentiment is sponsoring the show.
It's conceptual.
Yes.
I feel like my sponsorship just paid for Bojangles. That's kind of what I'm getting the impression of.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for that meal. It was fantastic.
So with that being said, Troy, what's happening next week?
What's happening next week? You'd think that I would have this thing loaded up, that I would know who's on next week, and I do know who's on next week. Next week, Dan is going to be very excited about this.
I'm so excited.
We don't even have Imperial March loaded up, ready to go. But next week, we have Jamie Dole from my home area, Portland, Oregon, and he does a full-fledged Star Wars haunt that he creates everything by himself, taking apart VCRs and building panels. And it is amazing. So he's got some stuff to show us. We're going to show videos. I'm lucky enough that I get to go to his house at any time and see his stuff.
You suck.
I know, right? But yes, he'll be on next week, and so you'll be able to see a different way to hunt. You don't have to hunt with scary, ghouly stuff or gingers. You can actually do it with Star Wars.
Everything's better with gingers.
Scary, ghouly stuff is gingers. Gingers are scary and ghouly.
They are. I'm going to make a haunt with just gingers. That's all it's going to be. Gingers, and then
he'll come.
Yeah. It's just gonna be gingers. And then a soulless pit, obviously.
That's it.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You're hiring, Troy?
Yes, I am. I am actually.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm always
Don't
hiring.
quote him on that. You'll get a payment here in a minute.
I know, right? And I do.
Oh shit!
Honey, we're going to dinner.
Bojangles.
We're going to Bojangles. It's very far away, but we're going. Max paid for the plane tickets. We're going.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for everything. We will see you guys next week. Keep on scaring.